Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Pat Zemer here with Magna. Want to welcome you to our Tuesday afternoon office hours session. This is session number 4, where we take your questions, help clear up questions that you may have, and make sure that you're totally versed on PEMF and Magna services and products. So welcome, glad you're here, and we look forward to sharing some good information with you this afternoon. For those of you who don't know me or are not aware of Magna, I'll just take just a second to introduce myself, give you a little bit about my background, tell you how you can ask your questions, and go from there. I've got a few questions that were rollovers from this morning's program that we weren't able to get to. I want to certainly answer those questions, and then a couple other things that we can help you with this afternoon. So first of all, I'm Pat Zemer. I'm the founder of Magna. I've been doing PEMF therapy and services since 2002. We started Magna as a brand in 2007 and have been very happy with how we've been able to help people, animals and small animals, with our services that are provided through our practitioners, some 300 practitioners around the country. I'm a practitioner myself. In the beginning, I did nothing but treat horses and people and small animals. I've treated thousands of clients over the years, and have enjoyed it very much. I've got a post-college studies in microbiology and pathology. I was an EMT at one point in time in another life when my family owned and operated an ambulance business, and was once studying to become a paramedic. I've been blessed to be a 3-time #1 best-selling author. One of my books deals with PEMF and the therapy and how I got into it and what we've done over the years. So it's been a fun journey, and we're glad to be here, and we want to, as I say, answer your questions. So if you have a question for us this afternoon, here's what I'd like for you to do. On the Facebook page where you're seeing this particular program, just enter your question there. I'll see it on my screen. I have to look away to read it, but I'll see the questions and be able to read the questions and answer them. Sometimes folks don't want to ask a question where their name is shown, so if you would like to ask a question to where your name will not be shared, simply go to magnawave1@gmail.com. That's magnawave, the number 1, @gmail.com. Ask your question. In the subject line, put question, and I will go there and as they come up, and certainly be happy to answer any of those questions that you have for us. So as I begin, I want to, and I hope everything works out this afternoon. This morning, about 11 minutes into the program, we lost our internet and got stymied there a little bit, but we were able to fire back up and keep going. There's a question here. It says, is there a video that shows the wave going through the body? Well, I have some videos of horses, and I happen to have a couple of them loaded here, that will show you the function of the wave as it is being applied to the body and going through the body. So let me pull one of those up, if I may, and we can take a look at it. And so let's watch this.
This client is Annie. She's a little off in her front right. Definitely see some reaction there.
That's a couple of videos that show the function on an animal with a lot of muscle tissue or a lot of soft tissue, where you do see pulsation of the body. And what you would do if you came back then and used a smaller, the butterfly loop or the paddle or something like that, you can narrow down on the body where the sensitivity is, because you'll move across and you'll get palpitation, and you'll move a little bit and it'll stop. Well, if you go back, you get it. So you can kind of narrow down where the sensitive areas are, so you can share that with your clients. And the same is true not for a person or even a small animal, but when there's not a lot of tissue, it's more difficult to see it. Obviously, someone can feel it if you're treating a back or a knee or something like that. But that's how the function moves through the body. And then I often get another question is folks will ask about various protocols. And certainly when there's a protocol to be addressed, I want to say that we really don't treat specific conditions. We have sessions on the body that allow the body to relax, take on better oxygenation of the blood cells, improve the blood flow, which allows the body to better heal itself. And that basic function is a benefit to most any condition that someone would want. So, I mean, I could quite often get asked the question. For example, there was a question this morning: is how does this assist with cancer therapy? Well, we don't treat cancer. We simply provide sessions to the body where we allow the body to basically, hopefully improve its blood oxygenation. That well oxygenated blood then flows through the body more freely, allowing it to basically do its job more effectively. The white blood cells become larger from dark field microscopy that we see, and allow them to better fight the area. Some particular diseases and bacteria like cancer and so forth don't like oxygen. So if you can improve the oxygenation of the body, you can potentially have some effect on various situations in the body. So and so when you put that with therapies, when you talk specifically about cancer, there are some cancer clinics in the United States that have used PEMF therapy to treat their patients for various types and various situations with cancer. There are places outside of the United States, one being Hope, the number 4 cancer, Hope for Cancer, Hope, the number 4 cancer, and you can see what they do and how they use the devices and other modalities with the treatment of cancer. And then there's certainly the series that's been on television and on cable, The Truth About Cancer, with Ty Bollinger, which is very effective, and he outlines in his series how PEMF is used with cancer patients around the world. And so that, there are ways to look at things, but specifically we don't do that. We provide sessions to the body to allow the body to better heal itself. I always say that good oxygenated blood can work miracles. And so if we want those miracles to occur, keeping the body in a good, healthy state is key. And that's what we like to help people have when they are in these situations. So that's pretty much how it deals with specific, what someone may consider to be a specific application. Quite often, and I'll just put this up, let me pull up here and go to it. What you get is, you have a situation that you ask, well, what will it do for this, or what will it do for that? Well, as a function, PEMF is a function to help relieve pain and promote healing. That's basically what it does at that point. After a procedure, that procedure can be an injury that requires some work. That can be a surgery. That can be a disease. That could be any number of things. Once there is no bleeding, a lot of times if there's surgery or something, there certainly is bleeding after the surgery, the potential for bleeding, or with an injury there is bleeding. We don't increase blood pressure, but we do potentially help blood flow. So if there is active bleeding, we don't want to do anything to allow more bleeding to occur or keep the bleeding from stopping. So once the bleeding is at bay, sessions can be applied at a comfortable setting for 10 to 15 minutes. A good setting is 5 to 8 minutes, but you can go 10 to 15 minutes on a particular setting. And if a very low setting is desired, then you could basically treat a little longer. You could treat for 20 to 30 minutes if you're using a very low intensity setting through our devices. Sessions typically would continue as long as function and pain levels improve or become reduced. So as long as someone is getting better, or the horse is feeling better, and but yet it can continue to feel better or heal more appropriately, if that's what you're looking for, then you would continue sessions along those lines. Once a plateau is reached, if you get to the point that, well, your arm's doing about as good as it's going to do and you're feeling pretty good and you're ready to go play golf, there's no need to continue at that point. You just then provide sessions as often as necessary to maintain the desired results. So that's pretty much a guideline. That could be a guideline for anything that you're looking to provide sessions for. So very broad, but very spot on. In fact, my director of training, Erin Hughes, often says when someone says, "Hey, what's the guideline for this?" or "What's the protocol for that?" and she kind of laughs, "Well, put it on and treat it." And kind of like the old Bill Cosby thing about hoof and mouth disease. Wipe that foam off around your mouth and you won't have hoof and mouth disease anymore. So just put it on and treat it as a way, is one way of looking at it, but you want to make sure that it's always comfortable and you continue as long as function continues to improve. So I hope that's helpful when you start thinking about what a guideline is and how PEMF can be applied to be helpful for health and wellness. So again, we are taking questions. If you have any questions, I would like for you to answer them. Ask them. I'll answer them. You can ask them. Go to the Facebook page that you're on and put the question in there, and it will come up on my screen, and I'll be able to answer it. If you don't want your name associated with the question, then simply go to magnawave1 at gmail.com, magnawave, the number 1 at gmail.com, and it'll come up in my email, and I'll be able to answer them, the questions at that point. So I probably need to go here and take a look at my Gmail to see if we've got any questions out there. And no, nothing yet in Gmail, and we appreciate the folks that are with us on the session at this point in time. We're happy to answer any questions that you may have. Also, I want to tell you that Thursday we've got a Magna Wave Wellness webinar. It's going to be Thursday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and our guest will be, let me pull it up here, our guest will be Pilar Davila. And Pilar is a cancer survivor, and she used PEMF as part of her regimen to fight her cancer. Let me come over here and show you her website. And she was a cancer survivor, as I've said. She developed what she would call her protocols, or the system that she used to work with herself and treat herself through the process. And this goes back, I think, 10 years that she's been a survivor, cancer survivor, and she's got a lot of interesting information to share. She's put a lot of information together that is very beneficial for anybody that wants to improve their health and wellness. And so again, that webinar is Thursday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we look forward to you visiting us at that point if you would like to participate in the webinar to see and learn from Pilar. Should be very interesting and something that a lot of you will enjoy and gain from. So if you want to register for that webinar on the MagnaWave page, you can go to the facebook.com/MagnaWave, and on the page is a post that kind of describes the webinar, and there's a registration link. So go there, click the registration link, sign up, and you'll be notified and reminded of the webinar. Again, that will be at 2 o'clock on Thursday. The webinar will be recorded, so if you can't make it at that time, go ahead and sign up, because then you'll receive the opportunity to watch the recorded version of the webinar at that point. So we appreciate everybody being here, and we look forward to doing this in the future. I think it's something that the more we do it and the longer we do it, more people will become accustomed to it being here. It's just a good opportunity for someone to come in and get some things answered without formally having to talk with someone on the phone or feel like they're going to be result in hard sales or something like that. That's not the way we do things at Magna Wave. Everything is on our website. It's totally transparent. All pricing, everything is there. Research is there. Testimonials is there. We don't feel that you have to. We'd love to have your information, and certainly we would love to work with you if you need a device or want a device for your business or your personal use. But I just feel like that I like to be open, and people like to work with us in that fashion. So that's how we like to do our website and do things. I will show you here just before we've been on about 16 minutes. No questions yet, but maybe someone will come on and have a question that they'd like to have answered. I want to show you a couple of different situations here. I will take you first to our Magna Wave page. Let me bring that up. And of course, there I am on the page with today's show. This is our commercial page. This was the office hours this morning. That's on there. And then somewhere here is, oh no, this one right here is the post that talks about the webinar that's coming up on Thursday. It looks kind of strange, same shirt, but I just did that earlier to promote the webinar. Now I'd like to show you, this is when someone joins the Magna Wave family and they take our training and become certified, they go into our, what we call, it's a private forum, it's a private group where there are some 200 members, 250 members, and you can go in and ask questions. You can go in and read what people are answering, and that'll help you with whatever you may be working with, type of situation that you have. Here's a post that describes it's a video that describes our new treatment app, so you can keep track of your sessions and be able to share that information with your clients, whether it's a person, a small animal, or an equine. Here's a question with a group, or how the best way to keep the butterflies connected to the body. There are some suggestions there. Here's a practitioner wanting to make sure somebody might be in an area where she has customers, that she can get her customers taken care of. And here's a question, how Magna Wave compares with the Beamer system. So there'll be a lot of different questions. Here's one that came up yesterday. After a discectomy or a laminectomy, how long before starting sessions, and how long and as often as possible. And I've kind of covered some of that earlier in this broadcast, dealing with the basic overall treatment guideline. So there's just a lot of things that come up that we answer and work with, and different people ask questions about other therapies that they see in the marketplace and how they compare and are they complementary. So that's the private forum area that's available to our practitioners when they come. I'll also take you into our training portal so you can have a look. We have a dashboard that covers all the various aspects of the program. You'll see we have a group of modules that deal with anatomy, the mammalian anatomy, cells and tissues, the skeletal system that we cover. We have a human group of protocols where it talks about the operation of the machine and treating and having sessions for various areas of the body. Certainly there's a whole list of, I believe there's 25 modules in the equine section, covering everything from guidelines to the history and that whole thing. So it's a good site. It's going to be changing come October. They're switching over to a new platform, so all of this will appear to look a little different at that point in time. But it's a very effective training portal that we're adding to at all times to upgrade it. And there's testing involved, third-party testing. So if you want to take the courses and learn and take the test and earn certification, that's all available. That can be used if where our goal is to have state certifications so you can be licensed in states. That's not in place anywhere at this point in time, but we want our education or our training to be good enough that it's accepted by various veterinary boards in various states. We've worked closely with several racetracks who wanted to make sure that the people were had some form of training and that they were all on the same page, and that's been accepted in various racetracks in New York, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, various places. And so we just want to make sure that our training is as high a caliber and as good as any training out there. All training is good, and we certainly don't want to preclude someone from getting training in this type of environment, but we do understand that all training is good, and we just like to do ours as thorough and as complete as possible. So that's a little overview there of our training area. So let me come back and see, hey Paul, and it's Arnufio. Thank you for joining us, and we are glad to be here, and it looks like the questions are light this afternoon, but I've been able to share, I think, some pretty good information with you, and we certainly look forward to doing that every Tuesday at 9 in the morning and 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So don't forget about the webinar coming up on Thursday. If you haven't registered, please do. And so we look forward to you being there. I'm glad you were able to join us this afternoon, and so I wish you a great afternoon, and we look forward to visiting again in the future. Have a great day.